they are able to follow. Yes, so good evening, professors. Thank you so much for joining this call. I hope you had a good Dashera weekend and a good celebration back at your place. Uh, the competition, this competition, we've already spoken about it last time. I mean, we had one exclusive call for the faculties, but I believe few of you were not able to join. And then we had a second review with all the students, and then we gave them a quick overview about what exactly we are looking at. In the initial stage, we did get about 740 odd registrations from students spanning about 2000 odd people. And after two rounds of review and doing a dipstick, now I could see that close to about 400 teams are really working on this. From across all the colleges, there we could see that 400 teams are working, and they have chosen. And we could also see that all the colleges have at least three use cases that have been picked up. So we are on the right track. We will send you the details of the students who are working on and stuff to you separately, probably over the next 24 hours. You can expect mail from us that will also give you an understanding of which are the students who are supposed to submit, so that you can start following up with them and reviewing if you don't have the student data readily available with you. We will send you one full tracker and removing the personal details of the candidate, so that it becomes like one tracker which everybody can follow rather than sending like 20-30 mails. So that is from the very high level. So thank you so much for that 400 odd mentoring that you're doing, 400 odd teams. Now the next step, as you know, this week you are expected to start getting the presentations from your students, and you will have to do the review. And the expectation is that from each, uh, let it be a standalone college or a group. For us, say for example, if we are talking about Rajalakshmi College of Engineering, REC, uh, they have two colleges. One is Rajalakshmi Engineering College, the other is Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology. But for our purpose, we look at Rajalakshmi as one. So is the case with VIT, RMK. For everything, we are looking at one. And from all these, the expectation is that we are looking at one presentation that you will have to handpick and give us five presentations, which you feel are the best one from your particular institute. So each institute, you are expected to submit five top presentations to us by Monday morning, which Giri's team will review and then announce the results, which will be the winners, or rather the selection from the first stage. And those people that we are going to handpick, we will handpick 25 teams. So five use cases. Each use case, we are going to pick five teams. So that means top 25 teams from this 400 odd teams will have to work on prototyping, and they will be given a 4 to 6 weeks time period to do the prototyping. And again, during that period also, we will give you support, and we expect you also to encourage and motivate your students. And from there, we are going to pick up the top five, that is one use case, one presentation, or one prototype, and they will be referred to as the potential winner. From there on, it is like money on the table. How much money are they going to take? It depends on how far they are able to go in terms of industrialization. So at a very high level, like Giri mentioned, he is satisfied with whatever the sample decks that we receive. He's going to give us some more inputs now, which is going to help you fine tune in what exactly you need to look for. Probably what you need to probably inform your students right now, so that they can work out on the presentation, send it to you, and what you should really look for when you're doing the evaluation, and then how you're going to submit it to us. Before I hand it over to Giri, in case if there are any questions that you want to ask, for now, I would suggest just use the chat window to start putting your questions, so that once Giri confirms what exactly is his expectation and what he saw in the deck, what more probably should we cover or edit, then we can probably have a direct conversation. But until then, if there are any questions that you have, please put it in the chat window, so that in the interim itself, we can probably tie it along with his speech. So with this, Giri, over to you.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Kriti, for setting that context as well as the reiterating the goals and the milestone part of it. Vikram, need your help as well in terms of how we can, in terms of how these use cases, the students who are working on it, whether they have rightly got that use case, and the from the template perspective, we can reiterate again. So it would be useful if you can quickly browse through that top 5 use cases without going into the details part of it, but we can keep the focus more on the template side of it. So can you help me out while I'm elaborating on the submission that I've already looked through. So I'll take two submissions just to show them that what are those fine tuning that is required over there.
So do you want me to present those submissions, or
I'll keep those submissions ready for you, Vikram. So you can go ahead and then present the use cases, just so
after
that
that? Okay. Yeah.
after that I'll take control on that.
Okay.
Sir, uh, excuse me, sorry to interrupt. We are new to this meeting. I'm not sure what is going on. Can you please tell us what is our role, and from there we can proceed?
Sure, sir.
Because I don't find the chat window also to type my questions. So
I believe it is Mr. Jyoti. So can
yes,
you, which college you're from?
from VIT.
VIT. I believe
Yeah.
Mr. Manikandan is also there on the call, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm also on the call.
So, Mr. Manikandan, I hope you'll be able to get Mr. Jyoti to the speed.
Yes. Jyoti sir, this is Dr. Manikandan. Let's have
Yes,
this
sir.
internal discussion once their presentation is over.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks, all. So I'll just quickly walk you all through the use cases, which was already presented in the original, discussion, the first discussion we had. So we are basically focusing on these 5 use cases: product servitization, digital wallet for connected things, intelligent edge, AI-based content moderation, and automation in game testing. So the first one, which is on product servitization, basically talks about the concept of, depending more on the services part of your business for your revenue generation than the product. So basically, if you have a product and you have related services to it, how do you, make it a regular revenue stream and generate revenue from it? So for example, Apple has been doing it, and Philips Healthcare has done it. So Apple basically is focusing more on their subscription based services more than the hardware product, which is their smartphone. Likewise, Philips Healthcare, they are selling MRI scanners. Okay, and then the related services they are offering is basically leading to product servitization business model. Next one was digital wallet for connected things. So here what we're trying to explore is if all the connected devices which are being currently being connected using IoT, if all those devices can pay on their own for the related subscriptions or services. So for example, if you have a connected car and the car is capable enough of making payments for its fuel, for insurance, for toll taxes, or whatever other expenses that a driver has to pay while driving, if it can be paid through a connected car. Likewise, it can be applied to any other connected device as well, where any service subscription fee or any other expense has to be paid, which is linked to that particular device. What we are also trying to see here, if a platform like Libra, which is a blockchain-based currency platform from Facebook, can be used for for the currency aspect of it for making the payments. And the next case is intelligent edge, which is nothing but a combination of artificial intelligence and edge computing. So here we have provided few examples, but it doesn't. We don't suggest to limit the the submissions to these examples. These are just examples to explain the concept. For example, proctoring services. How can proctoring services be done better by using artificial intelligence and edge computing? Inspection of defects, quality testing. How can that be done better by using AI and edge computing? Image analytics is another area where AI can be used combining with edge computing. And also smart city. So in smart city, there could be many other micro projects that can be done using AI and edge computing. Then comes AI-based content moderation. So what we are trying to experiment or know more about here is, can AI improve the quality of content moderation, which is currently being done and which requires a lot of human intervention. So how can that human intervention be reduced by using artificial intelligence? For example, moderation of chatbots, other conversational platforms, or even moderation of social media content. How all these activities can be done better using artificial intelligence and at a faster pace. Basically, when we need a lot of human intervention, the pace gets disturbed, and you need a lot of time to do the moderation. So how can we reduce that cycle time by using AI? And last but not the least is automation in game testing. Now, gaming industry is going through a lot of change, and these days, massive multiplayer online games are gaining traction, and these kind of gaming infrastructures require continuous testing, a lot of debugging. Okay, and so what we are trying to see, how can automation and in what areas automation can be done to improve this whole game testing process. So these are the key use cases in a nutshell. Now moving on to the template which we are suggesting for submissions. So we are touching upon 4 key areas. The first one being business need or opportunity, where the participants need to address or highlight what is the key business problem they are trying to solve. What is the unmet need there, and why it is important, and what value this particular solution which the participant is suggesting will bring to will it bring to solve that problem. The second aspect is target market or target segment or market size. So which is the segment this particular solution is targeting? It could be the demographics of the target audience that can be talked about. What could be the potential size of it, which can give us a sense that how much revenue this particular idea or solution can generate. The third aspect is the solution idea in a nutshell, and this is the core. What exactly is the solution idea? What is the reference architecture? What is the USP the solution has? How this solution is differentiated in the market. And the fourth one is business impact of measure of success. So how do you measure the end result? This is what will be covered in this fourth aspect. So yeah, so these are key areas we are covering in a brief template that we are suggesting. So now I'll open forum for questions, and Giri, if you want to add something.
Sure. Vikram, I don't know if someone has messaged saying that they are not able to view it. So just wanted to see if anyone has difficulty in viewing the presentation, you can let us know. We'll be able to help you out with that. Thanks for that, Vikram. That's really helps. What we can do is, before opening up to the Q&A, just want to show that, from the student side, whoever has submitted so far, just wanted to show uh, one reference in terms of where they have come close and where they have deviated too much from the main theme, so that in general we all understand what we are looking for in this competition. So I'm just using this as an example. Don't think that we are judging the presentation or anything like that. So please, don't mind if I show the presentation without masking the information. The idea is not to pinpoint any shortcomings or any other means. It's only to coach and help the students who can do a better, better at it. Now, having said that, what we are asking is really a tough one, including, I'm not undermining the kind of complexity it has, as well as the effort that has been put in terms of preparing this. It's just that, I want to guide the students in terms of how they can come very close to the industry ideas, and as well as how they can get along with this pretty fast. That's the intent in which I would like to open it up. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Is that okay, Vikram, if I take over the
Yes,
screen?
sure, sir.
All right, thank you. Let me know once you are able to see my screen. Is my screen visible to all of you? Vikram,
Yes.
you can acknowledge.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Giri, yeah.
Yeah, so this one has come very close to what I was looking for in terms of proctoring services. If you look at it, the business opportunity wise, it's nicely captured in terms of, what are those driving factors for online proctoring? What is the need of proctoring services? This is a very good way of opening up the problem statement in terms of saying, why do you need a remote or an online proctoring services? And they can even quote the current pandemic situation as well, right? It has got a lot of bearing in that. And as you most of it know, some of our work is getting transferred to a remote kind of a location. It could be a BPO or a KPO kind of an industries, where earlier we used to do the work in a
door close చేయాలి బయటికి.
if don't mind, the others can mute, or Kriti, if you have control, if you can put others on mute, that would be good. I am hearing some background noise. It might disturb others.
So that's going to mute you also. If you can unmute yourself, it would be helpful, Giri. I'm just going to mute everyone. That will mute you as well.
Sure.
You will have to unmute yourself.
Sure. Yeah, thanks a lot, Kriti. Thanks, that helps. So what essentially the problem statement and the layout over here is good, but try to take advantage of in terms of current problem situation and how you can help the BPO and the KPO kind of an industry. Now, what is the biggest problem over there is the data breach, right? You all know that a BPO industry who is working for say for example a bank, where a lot of sensitive information they should be handling it. So hence we had this the ODCs, which are physical spaces with a lot of security in place, where not even a mobile phone is allowed inside, right? Now, due to pandemic situations, we are not able to work out of ODCs. Now, if these workforce have to work remotely, then the kind of security that you have to provide is next to impossible, because at the device level you can provide a lot of security layers saying that they cannot copy the data. You can put a lot of restrictions, but what if they try to take a photograph of that screen which has got all the credit card numbers? That data will get compromised. Now, the way it has been articulated over here, he has taken more use case from the student angle. I understand that he may not have this view. That's why I'm trying to elaborate in terms of how to bring in that industry view on top of his idea. So rather than having an exam scenario, it will be useful if we bring in the scenario of the BPO industry, where sensitive information is relayed or beamed onto the remote worker. So if you try to take a photograph of that data using his mobile phone, the camera can detect that he is trying to take a photograph. It can even detect a device in his hand. It can even detect multiple faces. If a third person is present in the room, or if he is trying to access it in a public place, it will not open up because it knows the location. It knows there is a third person involved, because his facial recognition system knows pretty well. And if a third person try to come and try to access this sensitive information, it will get blocked. That is what we meant by proctored remote workforce. And the business opportunity he has called out over here is really good. The student has done a good job, but the only thing is the choosing the exam centers, so that language has to transform into an industry flavor. That's pretty much my comment over there. Apart from that, the scope and the market size is in good line. Try to slightly tweak it to the opportunity that exists with the BPO, KPO, remote working side of it. And then I really appreciate the security aspect he has talked about, spoken over here. And then instead of invigilator, we need to talk in terms of remote workforces, how they will be able to enforce certain regulatory standards and guidelines, right? Because in the absence of physical security, how these monitored situations will be taken up. So replace the exam with KPO, BPO, replace students with remote workforces, then this will become a industry solution and industry problem solving kind of a thing. That's a fine tune that is required over here. Otherwise, most of it he got it, whatever in this paper he is trying to submit it. Again, in the use case diagram, the industry use case have to come in here. So if we have to bring in that industry flavor again, replace examinee with a remote worker or a digital worker who is working from his home. And when he tried to access a critical information from the enterprise, be it the card details or be it sensitive healthcare information related records, anything that he access it, he will be proctored. That means his webcam gets switched on, and then it will keep on monitoring for his facial recognition. Plus, if there is any third person doing a shoulder browsing, we call it as. That means if someone is standing behind him watching the screen, it will automatically black out the content. And similar way, if we try to bring in any other device to take a photograph of that sensitive information, it will black out. So in all aspects, this will give our customers confidence that even remote working is possible in a pandemic situation like this. And proctoring and AI-enabled proctoring is the way to provide that. Now, we had specifically asked for a reference architecture. To a large extent, he has done a good work. Only thing is, the reference architecture has slightly become a functional architecture here. When we say reference architecture, it is both technology stack combined with the functional elements that he is trying to show in terms of modules, how it has been laid out, what kind of a microservices architecture he is bringing in, and what integrations that he will bring it over here, what is the client side of it. Those are some of the things that would be really good. And one caution over here is in terms of these pictures and things like that, it will be better for him to recreate rather than taking off from the net. So the student should avoid plagiarism as much as possible and see if they can recreate some of these things without straight away taking from the internet. That's the my humble request on that side. Apart from that, the business impact measures of success is really good. But however, a slight quantification of this would be a better way of putting it rather than just leaving it some few words over here. At least let them make an attempt in terms of thinking like a business side of it, saying that if we do this remotely through this proctoring services, then the cost of the work will come down by 30% or 40% because you don't need a desk side support IT to manage the workforce, and you will be saving at least 15 to 20% on the cost of your premises, cost of your operations. So that will directly translate into your business bottom line. These are some of the numbers. If they can pull it out, that would be good. These are all available today. That's why I'm confidently laying out here, just to give you an indicative that rather than leaving it as a qualitative statements, it would be good if you can quantify it. Then these two more use cases which I would like to highlight, which is slightly got confused on the solution side of it, is this particular one, where it started off nicely in terms of what is the problem that they are trying to tackle with AI chatbots and other intelligence edge over there. But then the business need is not coming out very clearly because the articulation is a problem here. So we don't know whether it is automatic payments or whether it is intelligence edge. What is that we are trying to highlight over here? But and what is the problem and the benefit of that? So the problem is not about user experience. So that's slightly vague over here, in my opinion. So we should guide the students, be very specific on the business need of it. More importantly, the market segment is also pretty, vague in terms of projecting whom they are targeting. And solution example, in my opinion, we have spoken about fuel, auto, machine, and digital mart, and post which we have kind of brought in two solutions together. So I was all along I was under the impression that we were talking about payments. These are things that pay, that is the use case, and I was hoping that something will be there, and suddenly there is a virtual inspection using AI, and how these two are interrelated will become a question mark in our head. So if they are not comfortable in mixing two or three use cases, let them not do it. They can stay on the course of the path. So if payment is what they have to focus, they can go ahead and do that and elaborate their solution only in that particular line of thinking. And technology stack should not be a flow like this, but it is more of, we are thinking that for front end what is the technology they are going to use it, and then for back end what is that, and how these things should be stitched out. But then what we have here is more of a it's like more of a pseudo code kind of a thing we have written over here. But idea is technology stack or reference stack need not look like that. So that's the reason why I wanted to point out and then say this, even though the idea is good, it is not coming out very clearly that what we are trying to solve and what is the solution is all about. Then it will, the chances of this getting rejected will be very high if our own architects, tech leads don't understand this. Then the second one, the third one which I wanted to highlight is, if you look at it, this is a very good from the smart city side of the use case, right? But then this again, I was telling in my last call as well that we are going to launch a separate an ideathon and hackathon as part of the Jetayu for social impacts kind of a projects or use cases. So this our focus here is more on the business use cases. So if they can stay on that course, that would be good, rather than focusing on firefighting system and things like that. So because that becomes really difficult to match and also see if that can be compared with others. So that's my humble request. saying that the students should stay away from these ideas. I know they are very powerful, but then when we want to compare an apple to apple should be the way to go forward rather than creating a confusion over there. So when it is coming from your college and institution, please ensure that this complies with our template, our use cases, as well as there is a clear understanding of the problem solution and the technology stack that they are referring to. So when it comes to implementation, they'll be able to implement more accurately. That's the intent behind this of showing it. Again, I would like to say that this is not a way of discouraging or anything like that, but it is just wanted to handhold them and provide very candid feedback over here, help them to course correct it, and then uh, come out with a flying color. That was the intent behind it. So with this, we can definitely open up for Q&A. We have got 20 minutes on the clock, so that we can address all of them uh, to a great extent. So with that, I would like to open up for Q&A. So Vikram, Kriti, is there anything else you wanted to cover before?
Giri, I think you have covered it very well. I think you've gone through each of those submissions. That's really great, and in that much detail. So I think you covered all very well. Just one additional suggestion I have here is, though I mean all the use cases seems students have put in a lot of effort, so that's clearly visible. One aspect that Giri was asking that the business aspect should be highlighted, and that's what even I observed, that whatever problem statement they are picking up, if faculties can help them fine tune it and move it to an area where business impact can be measured. So I think that will be really very helpful, and that will also help them get the sponsorship or funding from Virtusa easily, because when you present a business case in front of leaders, it becomes very crucial to show them the potential revenue opportunity. So yeah, just that, Giri. I think you've already covered, so I just wanted to add.
Well covered, Vikram. Thanks
Yeah.
for supporting on that. Yeah. Now we are open.
Should I continue with Q&A? I mean, FAQs that we have.
Sure. I can see Manjula ma'am going there. Please go ahead, ma'am. I can see Dr. Anupama. Please go ahead.
Hello,
Ma'am, go
sir.
ahead.
Myself, Parik, sir,
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
from Geetham, Bangalore campus. Sir, do we need to present as a faculty, or students they should present their ideas end of the event?
I think it's the students. So as a faculty, you will be their coach and as well as the mentor. And during the final presentation with the customer, it would be nice to have you also, sir. So that's the intent. But then the initial 2 rounds, it would be nice if students do it and with the mentorship from your side.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Manikandan.
Mr. Giri, good evening.
Good evening,
Uh,
sir.
This is related to the role of our faculty members, because VIT has almost 76 registrations, and moreover we have around 14 faculty members will be involved in this evaluation process. So
Sure.
my question is about will they be continue with, because the current requirement is we need to evaluate their solution proposal of their solution. So, and we will scrutinize and submit it to you. And will that faculty will continue their mentoring process or something? Faculty will have a continue a role, or the evaluation itself, their role will be over.
No, sir. After evaluation, if Virtusa selects that particular team, the faculty will be part and parcel of this entire in our team, and they will continue to mentor them along with an additional support from Barchesa side. That's how we are looking at it, so that there is a continuity in the idea, and they also feel very proud to be part of that team. So till it reaches the customer side of it, we want faculty to be part of it. But most of the work and the hands-on will be from the students. They will be more on the coaching or the mentor side of it, Dr. Manikandan sir.
Thank you, Mr. Giri. One more point. You were mentioning about two architectures, that is reference architecture and functional architecture based evaluation. So I have a small request, if possible, for the faculties, can you just share how that architecture looks like? I mean, some sample reference and functional architectures from your end. That will be helpful for our faculty members to evaluate that project.
We will do that, sir. What we'll do is, we'll take a couple of sample reference architecture and functional architecture. It need not be the exact replica of that, but anything that is closer to that will also do, sir. But definitely I'll share that with you all. I'll take that as an action item.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure, ma'am.
On second, to whom we have to send the presentations through placement cell, or we need to direct you the selected projects? To whom we have to send the projects? It is going to be only sending the projects through mail, or you are going to have some check presentations through Meet, something on that second?
Sure, I'll let Kriti answer that because he's been coordinating from the campus side. So Kriti, you want to take that question?
Yes. So from the presentation standpoint, it would be nice if you can forward it through your placement office so that it becomes easy for us to track who is sending it. In case if you want to send it directly to us, please feel free to do that because you already have my mail ID as well. But our only request is that one college send only one mail, try to zip it, or you can even put it on Google Drive and then send us the Google link. That is also fine. But just restrict to one mail per college.
Excuse me, first phase is only presentation slides, right?
Exactly, ma'am.
Correct, ma'am. That's right.
Since if you're from Rajalakshmi, both RIT and REC together, you're going to pick up 5. And then you're going to send us those 5.
For each use case, together RIT and REC, we are going to select one project and we will send the presentation slides through our placement cell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
This is Manjula from DITS, sir. I have one query. Like I'm not clear with the project activities and their milestone. Okay, the complete project activities, if you can share with us, that will be good. And what are the outcomes at each and every activity of this? So first phase, as you told, presentation, fine. Okay, so the first phase, like presentation, can you just tell us on what attributes, on what factors you are going to evaluate it, so that this will give us an idea to work out on our project themes.
Kriti, you want to take it up in terms of how we can facilitate this? I think we've been sharing that information. I don't know, ma'am has that information with her, or is there a way that we can reach out separately so that I just want to use the common forum to address any other thing, but if there is a way to handle this, we can look at that as well.
So I will once again, what I'll do is whatever that we have already shared, I will once again share it with everybody.
So the reason why we are saying that, ma'am, is we had 2 rounds, and even the launch was also around this. And today, my colleague Vikram also went through that template. So my only concern is it may be a repetitive for others who have already joined it. So in the interest of time, I'm just saying that we will take your case alone and then see how we can bring you up to the speed, ma'am. Is that okay to take it offline?
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll get updated. No problem.
Sure. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, this is Nagesh from CVR College.
Yes, sir. Please,
Yeah,
sir,
actually, we have been asked to pick up top five problem statements from each college. Whether that 5 should be spanning across 5 use cases, or 2 can be from the same use case.
No, sir. The way we are structuring this is for each use case there has to be one selection. It can be if a particular thing a submission has got multiple use cases in it, which is also a good plus point. But it would be on an advantage side if you can provide us for each team to a particular use case. So that way you will have a lot more submission coming from your end rather than wasting multiple submission on a single use case.
Because if there are only 4 use cases have been picked up by the students, then in that scenario,
that's where we were encouraging the students also to coordinate with their placement cell. The idea is we want to have all the use cases coming from the same college, so that they'll have a wide variety of exposure. The reason why we introduced 5 use cases is just to test them on various attributes in terms of how their product mindset will work. Because if you evaluate everyone on the same use case, and then the competition becomes very intensive. So I could see that not many of them are picking up on the game testing side of scenarios or the automation side of it, and then there are not many the product servitizations use cases that they are picking up. So please encourage students to pick up these 2 use cases. Otherwise, from the college standpoint, they may lose out some points because they are not fully onto all the use cases. So the college with maximum use cases might get a different weightage when it comes to scoring part of it. So from that aspect, I would like to request that they will stay and pick up on all the front, because it spans across multiple technologies, sir. That's the reason why we want them to pick up on multiple use cases.
Okay. Thank you.
So any more questions?
Sir, I am Devolina from BIT.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, you told we have to pick up 5 use cases for 5 students. So taking up 5 use cases means we will submit a zip file with 5 use cases of 5 different students, 5 presentations, or 1 presentation only.
5 different teams, ma'am. So each use case there will be a team of 4 to 5 members, and so per team there will be 1 presentation. So you will zip for 5 use
All
cases,
the
5 presentations you will zip it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
From different teams, ma'am, not from the same team.
Yes, got it.
That after all your evaluation and filtering it out, you are going to forward the best top 5 for each use case. You are going to send it across, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah.
This is Ishwarappa from DY Patil College,
Please,
Pune.
sir. Yeah.
I have one doubt.
Hello. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Sir, these 5 teams which we are going to forward it, whether they need to present anything or you are going to shortlist based on the PPT presented, I mean the PPT contents itself?
This is an offline exercise, sir. So because going through each presentation will be a too much exercise, because somewhere close to 125 presentations we need to listen to, and that itself will become 2-3 months of activities. So rather we would like to go offline. That means all the presentations will be done in an offline mode. That is why I was stressing upon the template and as much as information they can provide it. So when a third person reads it, it should become crystal clear for anyone to understand what is the problem, what is the solution, and what is the reference architecture for that. Reference architecture is only to give us the confidence that when we ask them to implement it, they exactly know how to implement it. At that point, it should not become like a too much of theory and not a practical enough for us to for them to implement, right? So that's the reason why we are asking on all those four things, and we will recirculate the template if required with you all, so that you'll all have it handy when you are filtering at your college level.
Okay, fine, sir. Fine, sir. The continuation of that another question is whether all the students should follow the same template. That is the first question. And second question is they can use the graphical modes or the images or anything so that they can explain their problem statement or the idea very well.
Yeah, I mean, what we are saying is the template, when I say it is not restricted to the text or the images that they have to put it over there. It is more of a flow, sir, like a storytelling. If they can cover the points and we will leave to their creativity. So we are not going to say that, this is exactly where the picture has to be. This is exactly where the wording should come in and things like that. They are free to have the flow in the manner in which we are asking. So that way we are not going to control.
Fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So if there are any further questions, we'll be more than happy to take it. Hope this was useful. Please do let us know. And are there any blockers, or do you know any students who are stuck with an use case or they are not able to proceed? Any intervention is required, we'll be more than happy to come on a call, or even you can utilize the next 5-10 minutes to highlight any challenges that you are facing currently, because we are kind of blindsided without knowing what is happening on your institution side or on the student side. So you will be a crucial connect between students and us. So hence the request, please do let us know if they are facing any challenges. So if there are no challenges, I think that it's pretty clear. And for most of you, who are joining Jatayu in the middle of the event, I know it's very difficult to catch up and come up to the speed. We'll do an offline circulation of these formats, milestones, and the content, everything with you on an email. And if required, we'll be more than happy to walk you through that if any further clarification is required. We can even do one more touch base before the submission, just to see from your comfortness if you have covered all the use cases, or if you are looking for some clue in terms of how to proceed. More than happy to take it over here. I can see a hand raised from Dr. Manikandan. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, Mr. Giri, we got two questions from our students. That is, I think it would be better if you answer for it before leaving this meeting.
Sure, sir.
Number one, the first question is related to the use case. Number two, the usage of Libra seems to be recommended. Can we find any alternate solution, platform, or concept to implement the blockchain, or is it strictly restricted to Libra? This is a question from one of my students.
So for this ideation phase, sir, if they find it any other alternatives, like
Yes.
I know there is an IOTA framework, which is a very close to Libra kind of a thing, but that is specifically built for IoT. It is called
Okay.
IoTA, and that is a framework which are now becoming a very popular one. From the they have a consortium, and some of the automotive companies are subscribing to that as well. So let them go ahead, because if Libra takes too much time for them to understand, we can handhold them during the industrialization part of it. That shouldn't be a blocker.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful answer. And the next question is about can we use animated videos to explain our ideology along with the presentation?
Oh, excellent, sir. That will be like a icing on top of the cake. They'll be more will be more than happy to see their creativity.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Giri.
Excellent. We are on top of the hour. So if there are no more questions, we can always, a mail away or a phone call away. So please feel free to reach out to us at any point. It need not be say sessions like this, but hopefully, our students will give more ideas to us, and I'm pretty confident. And after seeing some of these presentations as well, I'm becoming more enthusiastic and positive on the outcomes. So looking forward to working with you all in this. Thank and wonderful having this discussions with you all. Once again, thank you so much for participating in Jatayu.
Thanks, everyone.
So just as a closing note, the recording of this particular session will be hosted on YouTube in the next probably half an hour, and I will send out a mailer with the link so that you can refer to it in case if you want to really go back on what we really spoke and what are the elements that Mr. Giri and Vikram emphasized during the course of conversation. And if you have any specific ask, please feel free to write to us, and we'll be more than happy to support. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank
Have a good evening. Thanks,
Thanks.
Kriti, Vikram. Thanks, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks a
sir.
lot. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Kriti, we want to continue for 2 more minutes, just on a debriefing.
Absolutely. Sir.
I think we are the only three now, right?
Yes, I
So
think
first of all,
it's showing, but it's showing us leaving. Yeah, I think she would have already left. Yes, sir.
yeah, thanks a lot, Shri Kriti, for this. Hope was it useful from the overall, from its
I
objective?
should apologize because time and again, some of the faculties, they keep coming the same question which we addressed in the first meeting.
I understand. They might have been looped in, thinking that they'll get additional answers.
No, but
I
this is
don't
the biggest
want
problem
to.
of, sorry, this is the biggest problem of the virtual environment. I mean, the messaging isn't getting conveyed to the last person. So because of which we keep getting these kind of questions.
No
But
issues, no issues.
so long
I
as
think Kriti, you are handling it pretty well, actually.
I mean, if you are confident, or at least if you are comfortable with I think I sent you 3 mails, right? We got 3 different mails today with samples.
Right.
So if you are comfortable with it, I think then we are on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, it requires at least one of them have come very close to what we are looking for. The other two, definitely we have to guide them. So that is where I kind of emphasized on those 3 presentations, Kriti. I use that as an opportunity to show them that how it should look and what it should not contain. That side of the story I wanted to show them using their own presentations.
Okay. So I think out of the 700 odd teams who had registered, after looking at it, around 330 teams is what confirmed. Confirmed marking their responses and everything. I think that itself is pretty good. This typically used to happen with us for every other competition. I don't know why again people are joining the call.
They might have seen that it's on the other call, isn't it?